Ever noticed how some people seem to have an invisible magnetic field around them? You know, that mysterious aura that screams confidence, control, and calm. Here's a secret. It's not magic. It's power. And it's time you discovered how to get it. Let's pull back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood dynamics in relationships. Who truly holds the power? Picture this. Two people meet. There's chemistry, there's excitement, and there's a subtle dance of who's chasing and who's being chased. But beneath the surface, something deeper is at play. A silent negotiation of need and value. Here's the twist. Society tells you you need her. She's the prize, the catch, the queen on the chessboard. But what if I told you that in reality, she needs you more than you need her? Sound outrageous? Stick around. First, let's talk about scarcity and abundance. Think of yourself as a rare diamond in a world of common stones. When you realize your uniqueness, you stop acting desperate. You stop bending over backward to impress. And guess what? That's exactly when your value skyrockets. Stoics understood this game centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius didn't chase approval. Seneca didn't beg for attention. They knew that true power comes from within, from mastering your emotions, not from controlling others. So, why does she need you more? For starters, let's shatter a myth. Women have options, but options aren't the same as meaningful connections. Sure, her inbox is overflowing with hey messages, but how many of those guys actually bring real value? How many are actually unshakable, grounded, and purpose-driven? Here's a hint. Almost none. Most are like ships tossed by the storm, seeking validation, eager to please, and terrified of being alone. But the man who stands firm, who walks his own path, who's comfortable with or without her, that's the man who commands respect. That's the man who's rare. Power in relationships isn't about manipulation. It's about self-mastery. When you're not afraid to walk away, you become infinitely more attractive. Why? Because you're not playing the game out of fear, but out of abundance. Let's zoom out for a second. Think of relationships like a seesaw. When you're desperate, you're at the bottom, weighed down. When you're confident, unbothered, and content with yourself, suddenly you rise up, and the dynamic flips. Neediness is repellent. Independence is magnetic. Let's get practical. Imagine you're texting. She takes hours to reply. You start doubting yourself, rereading messages, overanalyzing. Classic move, right? Now flip the script. You're busy building your empire, hitting the gym, pursuing your passions. Suddenly, you're not waiting by the phone. And guess who feels the shift? She does. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being hard to get. Because your life is already full. Your ambitions, your dreams, your relentless pursuit of greatness, they all come first. Anyone who wants in has to match your energy, not the other way around. Here's a brutal truth. The more you crave approval, the less you get it. The more you own your power, the more others crave your approval. It's a paradox as old as time. Let's talk science for a second. Studies show that people are drawn to those who seem self-sufficient. It's called the law of least effort. The person who invests the least emotionally often holds the most power. But remember, this isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about having a life that's so rich, so compelling that you don't have to chase anyone. Now, let's break down the 3 pillars of power in a relationship. 1. Purpose. Know what you want. Not just in love, but in life. A man without purpose is like a ship without a rudder. Easily swayed, easily lost. When you have a mission, you're less likely to compromise yourself for temporary affection. 2. Presence. Be here, now. When you're with her, actually listen. Pay attention. Be the calm in her storm. Most guys are too busy thinking about what to say next. Stand out by simply being present. Third detachment. Master the art of letting go. Don't cling. Don't beg. Don't make her your sole source of happiness. When you're willing to walk away, you're free, and freedom is the ultimate power. Think about the last time you saw someone truly confident. Did they seek validation? Did they chase approval? Or did they move through the world with quiet assurance, knowing their worth? That's the energy you need to channel. Here's where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics taught that external things, other people's opinions, affection, approval, are beyond our control. The only thing we control is our own attitude, our own actions. Apply this to dating. Don't obsess over her reactions. Don't mold yourself to fit her expectations. Instead, become the best version of yourself, for yourself. Ironically, that's when people start chasing you. Let's get real. Relationships are not 50-50. They're dynamic, constantly shifting. Sometimes you give more, sometimes she does. But if your entire sense of self-worth depends on her approval, you're handing over your power on a silver platter. Flip the script. Make your life so rich, so vibrant, that she wants to be a part of it. Don't revolve around her. Let her orbit you. Now, let's talk about boundaries. Most guys are afraid to set them. They fear losing her, so they tolerate bad behavior. But boundaries are attractive. They show you respect yourself. And if someone can't handle your boundaries, it's their loss, not yours. Remember, what you tolerate, you encourage. If you let disrespect slide, it becomes the norm. If you stand firm, you set the standard. Ever heard the saying, "You teach people how to treat you"? It's true. If you act like you need her more, she'll believe it. But if you show, through your actions, that you're content with or without her, the dynamic changes. Let's address a myth. Being powerful in a relationship means being domineering or controlling. Wrong. True power is quiet. It's the ability to walk away from anything that no longer serves you. It's knowing your worth and refusing to settle. Think about it. The most sought-after people aren't the loudest in the room. They're the ones who are comfortable in their own skin, who don't need attention, who are content in solitude. Scarcity breeds value. When you make yourself too available, you become ordinary. But when you're selective, when you guard your time and energy, you become someone worth pursuing. Let's talk about emotional control. The Stoics believe that emotions are natural, but acting on every emotion is not. The man who can stay calm in chaos, who doesn't get rattled by drama, is a rock in a world of sand. That's power. Imagine a scenario. Things aren't going your way. She's pulling back. Most guys panic, double text, plead, overinvest. But you stay composed. You focus on your own life. You don't chase. And suddenly, the energy shifts. She notices your absence. She wonders what you're up to. That's the power of detachment. Let's drop another truth bomb. Availability kills mystery. The more she knows about you, the less she needs to discover. Leave some things unsaid. Have passions and interests she knows nothing about. Make her curious. Curiosity is the fuel of attraction. Now, let's debunk another myth. Happy wife, happy life. Sounds noble, right? But if your happiness depends solely on pleasing someone else, you're building a house on sand. True happiness is internal. When you're happy on your own, any relationship becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Let's get tactical. How do you build this kind of power? Invest in yourself. Hit the gym, read books, learn new skills. The more you grow, the more valuable you become. Pursue your passions. Don't give up your hobbies or dreams for anyone. Let your life be a magnet. Surround yourself with high-value people. Your network shapes your mindset. Choose wisely. Guard your time. Don't drop everything for anyone. Your time is your most valuable asset. Stay mysterious. Don't overshare. Let her discover you piece by piece. Remember, neediness is the enemy of attraction. The moment you make someone your everything, you lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you lose your power. Let's revisit the Stoics. They believed in amor fati, loving one's fate. Embrace whatever comes, knowing you'll be okay either way. Whether she stays or goes, you remain unshaken. But here's the secret sauce. When you're indifferent to the outcome, you become irresistible. People want what they can't have. When you don't need her, she wants you even more. Let's talk about the chase. Society says men should chase, but the most powerful men know the best relationships are mutual pursuits. When you stop chasing, you give her the space to chase you, and that changes everything. Think about it. Desperation is loud. Confidence is quiet. Which one do you want to be? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Communication. Are you always the first to text? Are you always available? Try pulling back. See what happens. Often you'll notice she starts investing more. Why? Because you're signaling that your world doesn't revolve around her. Now, let's talk about value. What do you bring to the table? Looks fade, money comes and goes, but character is timeless. Be the man who leads, who inspires, who uplifts. Be the man who's hard to replace. Here's a power move. Walk away when standards aren't met. Most people are too afraid to lose someone, so they settle. But when you walk away from what isn't right, you make room for what is. That's the power of choice. Let's tackle rejection. Most fear it like the plague, but rejection is just redirection. It means you're one step closer to what you truly want. The Stoic man doesn't take rejection personally. He learns, adapts, and moves forward. Self-respect is everything. When you respect yourself, others will too. When you don't, no amount of external validation can fill the void. Now, let's talk about the long game. Power in relationships isn't about winning battles. It's about building a foundation of mutual respect, admiration, and growth. When you're grounded in your own path, you attract those who want to walk it with you, not those who want to distract you from it. Here's another Stoic gem. Focus on what you can control. You can't control her actions, her feelings, or her choices, but you can control your response. You can control your standards. You can control your direction. Let's get real. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. The goal isn't to be liked by everyone. The goal is to be respected by the right ones. Quality over quantity. One meaningful connection is worth more than 1,000 shallow ones. Don't be afraid to be selective. Let's wrap up with a challenge. Start living for yourself. Make your happiness your responsibility. Build a life so fulfilling, so rich, that anyone who joins you is simply an addition, not the main event. The truth about power in relationships? It's simple. She needs you more than you need her, when you don't need her at all. When you're whole on your own, you become the prize, and the world, including her, takes notice. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful person in the room is the one who could walk away, but chooses to stay.